Hello friends, my name is CA Rajendra Arora, and friends, today we shall be discussing about one very interesting important circular issued by CBIC on 18 July, circular number 107, 18 July 2019. Friends, what happened on 27 June 2019, I recorded a video on intermediary services, and this circular is exactly on the same lines issued by the department, explaining us that what shall be called as intermediary services and whether it shall be considered as export of supply of services or not. Now exactly what I discussed on 27 June 2019, on 18 July 2019, almost the entire set of issue, the discussion which we had on that in that video is being reproduced in this circular. You must watch that video and then this video again. On 27 June 2019, intermediary services, another video is recorded. Now what this circular says, let's talk about it. This is also very important. As I said earlier in that video, that intermediary services, the definition of intermediary services is one of the most peculiar definitions. And this definition even changes the entire course of action for any export of service. Now it says that we have to determine that whether call centers or BPO, business processing outsourcing agencies or entities shall be called intermediary, when they shall be called intermediary and when they shall not be called intermediary, and whether the exemption, whether the status of zero rated shall be available for those services or not. Now it starts with what is intermediary. Section 2 subsection 13 of IGST says that anyone who arranges or facilitates, a broker or an agent or whatever name called, who arranges or facilitates the supply of goods or services between two or more persons, that shall be called as intermediary, but it excludes the person who does the same supply or goods or services on his own account. So if I am doing supply on my own account, then I shall not be called as intermediary, and the moment I shall be considered as intermediary, the place of supply shall be here in India and the status of zero rated shall be withdrawn. You need to be very careful about it. Now as I told in that video, that the determination of the fact whether a particular supplier is an intermediary would depend upon the facts and circumstances of each case. The same thing is being used by the department. Now they have said that ITeS, IT enabled services. We are talking about information technology enabled services. What is ITeS? It says it is not defined in the GST law, but it is defined in the income tax rules, Safe Harbour Rules, Income Tax Rules 1962, Safe Harbour Rules of International Taxation. It says IT enabled services when are provided mainly with the assistance or use of information technology. Mainly with the assistance or use of information technology. 15 instances have been jotted down in the circular itself, that what all are ITeS services. ITeS services: back office operations, call center or contact center operations, data processing or data mining, insurance claim processing, legal databases, transactional translation services, payroll services, remote maintenance, revenue accounting, support services, website services, data search integration, remote education, clinical database management. These all services are basically ITeS services, and it does not include research and development services. Now ITeS is defined here by way of this circular, and the definition is taken from the Safe Harbour Rules. Now they have divided the entire thing into three scenarios. First scenario, wherein it say the circular says that if the supplier is providing one of these services which are just mentioned, ITeS services, 15 instances, then in that case, if he is providing one of these services on his own account, then he shall not be called as intermediary. The main question is that whether ITeS services are intermediary or not, and why we have to determine whether it is intermediary or not, I have already told you. Now second scenario, it says where the ITeS arranges the supply of goods or services of the client to the customer. I am here in India, I have a customer in UK, and I have a client in UK and he has his customers across the globe, or including in India. If I arrange the supply of goods or services to the customers of my client sitting in UK, then this shall be called as intermediary services. What all services I can be providing? It says support services during pre-delivery, during delivery, during post-delivery, before delivery, at the time of delivery, or after delivery. If I provide order placement services such as logistical support, delivery support, obtaining relevant clearances from government, transportation of goods, post-sale support, all these are support services. If I am providing on behalf of my client to its customers, then it shall be squarely called as intermediary. Third scenario, when the supplier located in India is providing both type of services. It is a hybrid of scenario 1 and scenario 2. Scenario 1 where he provides everything on his own account. Scenario 2, he arranges the supply of goods or services for client to customers. If he does both these things, that is scenario 3, and the department says here for determination whether it is intermediary services or not would depend upon the facts and circumstances of the case. As I told you in my earlier video in 27 June 2019, exactly the department is saying the same, that we have to determine that what is the principal or main supply. If the principal supply is this, like the items enumerated 15 items, then it would not be intermediary. If principal supply and the ancillary supply is something different, then it may be termed as intermediary. But please be cautious, it depends on facts and circumstances of the each case, cannot be generalized by at all means. Then it says that if any supply, export of service, if any supply shall be ITeS supply shall be considered as intermediary, then it shall be taxable in India. If it is not intermediary, then it export of services having status of 0 rated would be having facility of refund of input tax credit accumulated on inward supplies. I'm sure, my dear friends, that this video will help you in your practices, in your endeavors. Thank you very much for watching this video.